approach at about the right level. So we've got a good angle on it right here. We want to keep the speed at a certain distance here. We probably can even hear it too. I'm moving the hand and I'm not thinking about where it's pointing. That's how I keep that right there. I don't think about it. And you can hear it. A little blurry, but yet. I don't remember the name of this one place. It's somewhere in the South Lake area. Probably like, I just guessed Chipotle. That's Bread Zeppelin. Bread Zeppelin. Whatever that is. It's okay. I mean, if you want to take the cup back, that's fine.
No. The kids meal not yours. It's just the bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Somebody else left the kids.
which one's the bowl?
There's them right here.
Okay. So that's what's that receipt say?
Yes, sir. That's what that one. And no cup in it. And then that the kids meal right here. Somebody left it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
You're saying somebody left that.
Yes, sir. It's all right. Thank you, though.
All right. No problem. Yeah, but I'm a father of 3. Makes a big difference in your life, doesn't it? See, my life is accomplished. Your life is just beginning. There's a big difference between the two. Before you start smarting off, saying shit. And then different now. Stuff it. Alright, so they got to figure it out. Sometimes that happens, another mix up. Somebody left an order. So, I don't know, maybe some kid could go in there. His mom. She abandoned the father or something. She can go in there and they'll probably just have some leftovers. And they can eat and drink and be merry all day. They're blue in the face. They can have all the gold and silver in the world, all the mansions, just tons of stuff, anything they want. Right? All the products, all the diamonds, expensive cars, all day long, until they throw up. They throw up with the disgust and the sin which they live in. Because life isn't about materials.
Good afternoon with classical.
Life is about God. We have names for a reason. A long time ago, when the Jewish people, were running from the Nazis out of France, there's a guy named Marcel Marceau. Now, he helped about 10,000 children escape. But the reason they were able to find the children was because of their names. They left with their document, their papers, and they put the papers in the sandwich between the breads of the sandwich and hid it in a picnic basket. So then later on, when they got to Israel or they were liberated, they could find them by their names. As long as they had their documents, they would be found. All the parents had to do was remember their children's names. And when they were reunited, they would say, yes, that is the exact name we gave this child. And then they could show their birth certificate and match the two.
Watch out, object on road ahead.
And that would be R2. So what it does to the speaker is it brings everything down because she shouted. The robot shouted at me. We wait. puts a little pressure on the microphone. So eventually, they go back. Well, they'll go back to me, but because of the name, right? The birth certificate were matched, right? So they went back to Israel or wherever they liberated from. If they left France or anywhere, they could reunite. They probably did go to Israel, and they went back there as like a headquarter, you know, as a home base. They went back with their documents and they found their children. Their children was waiting for them. And that happened during World War II, and after the Holocaust, they could go back there to reunite because everyone got scattered. Because what war does, the worst part of war is it scatters families. The wedge gets in there. Someone like my father, who's kind of like a Nazi because he's horrible. He gets that wedge in there, and he separates that family. Now the Nazis eventually will die off. My father will eventually cease to exist as well. And when I reunite with my family, I'll have documents in my hand. So I'll say, yes, that's David, that's Elizabeth, and that's Gwendolyn. And they'll have their birth certificates, right? Now, forged birth certificates can happen, but the only problem is that the original birth certificates are kept online, like a fish, like a microfiche. They're kept microfiche is what I was trying to say. I don't know if they keep it on microfiche, but they keep hard copies, but they also keep online. So they keep the information, the original documentation online, which can't necessarily be hacked into without having a trace, right? But the paperwork is just as important because there's photos and documents of the original paperwork. So when I go back, I'll have a birth certificate and I'll say, I am the father, and here are their birth certificates. My name is on their birth certificate. That's what makes me their father, for one thing. But the most important thing is God will overcome them, and God will destroy my enemy and return my children back to me. And that's who my father fears the most. He fears God. He has no control over God, and there's no way that he can have any control over God, although he's tried. This is where Joy lived. Boy, she was a joy. That flag is waving LSD right there. It's pretty funny. It's a LSU. Okay, I thought it was LSD. The U turned and it looked like LSD. It's LSU. So they back the blue, right? The blue part of the flag. Well, I back the white part of the flag and the red part of the flag. But I don't back the blue part of the flag because I don't want to kill people anymore. So my flag will be red and white with no blue because I'm not backing the murderers anymore. Also, the cops that do anything to my kids, they got a table waiting for you that smells like pine sol. And when they lay you down, they stick a little needle in your arm. It's real creepy. You gotta wait for maybe a year for that needle to enter. Now just picture the sting of that needle that goes in your arm for messing with children. So it's better now that you talk to her and you return my children, because if you don't, you're gonna feel a little sting because God's gonna punish you. Right? That'll be red and white. We'll take out the blue. Briarwood. Briarwood and Canyon and Grapevine. We're in Grapevine. That's where we are, kids. We're in Grapevine. And that is Briarwood and Canyon. Wentwood is over here. If you look on your little map, you'll see it says Wentwood and Briarwood. It's a cross street. That's how we travel around to know things, through cross streets. There's a flag right there. Yes, we'll change it to red and white and take out the blue. Be better that way. Make a statement about police brutality, or as they say, police blutality. Police blutality or police brutality. I know there's a lot of kids out there that are very scared because some of their fathers have been killed by police officers. Don't worry, we're going to change all of that. We're weeding out slowly. This is part of what this show's about. We're weeding out slowly to take out the wrong type of police officer. It's very easy to do because they're creating an app. Biden, even though he's a butthole, Biden's creating an app where you can make a report on the exact things that the police officer says to you word for word. You want to remember exactly what they say, because police officers use jargon. It's very legalized jargon, which is very dangerous. Some of the reasons why some of your fathers are killed because of the language that they used. They'll go from perfect English to using curse words to heighten the situation, to scare your father into submitting unto death, so that they can command them to die or lay down on the ground, right? There's certain jargons that they use to people to put fear in them. That's what you have to cancel out, right? You don't want to listen to that jargon. Jargon is it's a different way of speaking. It's a bastardized version of speaking. They'll slightly manipulate the English language and legalize it to a certain degree in order to kill you. They use words first. They're very dangerous. A lot of them carry around pens. Now, that pen they carry around is far more dangerous than the gun they use. But they are too stupid to use the pen, or they lay down the gun. And that pen is what will end their careers. It's like a pen, right? Just like this. That pen will end their careers. And they'll kill you over their careers. A lot of people will, even if you slow down too much, they'll flip out, right? People flip out. But sooner or later, they'll no longer possess a lethal sidearm, and they'll become security guards nearly. And they'll have a stun gun and a book on psychology. When I mean psychology, I mean social psychology, how to exist gracefully in society without hurting other people. And if they have to use the stun gun to protect their own selves, then they can. But remember, all citizens will be able to carry whatever type of weapon they want. Any type. That's where the bad guy lives, right? Everything's a bad guy to a police officer. That's why they're stupid. They gotta get rid of that word. We go in, we stop the bad guys. Right? They are the bad guys. So why do they say bad guy? Because they think they're good. That's what makes them dangerous. But if they wake up in the morning, they look real hard in the mirror, they'll realize that they're a fat, ASS, no good, idiotic killer that likes to eat a whole bunch of donuts and barbecue and Slurpees. They just stuff their faces every night till they're blue in the face. Now, it would be cool to get like 20,000 views each time I make a post, or 30,000 views, or like the donut operator, 1 million views, per post. It'd be interesting. And it's hard to figure out how to get to that point. It's trial and error, you try this, you try that. I mean, I'm doing this with my own style. I'm borrowing from a few other vloggers, but I have to pay tribute. It's kind of like, not copyright, but like Escaping the Mouse likes the, what is it? It's crepe myrtles. Crepe myrtles. But what I'm trying to say is that, you know, I'm doing this on my own. You know, this is my own style. The dialogue, the camera action, everything's done by my own style. And it would be great that one day before this is all over, I'm getting like 20 or 30,000 views. And I got an audience of 20 or 30,000 or even 1 million. You know, that would be wonderful. But you have to figure out, how do you do that? Look at this tree right here. Isn't that cool? All right, so I gotta find this place. So we're not in India though. We're in South Lake. Irving is basically in India though. I think it's mainly India. This is to help the eyes and the ears. Never had to do that before. Very strange. Double pane glass is what that was. The double pane, it does that. It's kind of the enemy of the filmmaker. We are helping children?
Yes!
Oh, honor. So you have, what's that, childhelp.org?
Yeah.
Cool.
So it only takes.
So you can donate it online, right? You can give money online?
Yes, you can.
Hey, I'm going to talk to you in just a minute, okay? If they want their food so fast, then they can stuff it in their mouth real fast. You know what I mean? Wait at least 20 seconds before bites. Oh, they're from New York. You can see the yellow. They got away. They escaped. Escaped New York, John Carpenter style. It's called a Dutch angle. So it doesn't tilt on a Dutch angle. When it tilts like this, it's a tilt shot. Okay? It's a difference. Dutch angle, which can be left or right, is fixed. So the Dutch angle, which is left or right, is fixed. Right? It's fighting. Kind of right there. That's a slight tilt. That's Dutch. So that's a Dutch, and that's a Dutch. That's tilt. It's not the same as a Dutch angle because it moves. A Dutch angle does not move. This is just a tilt rotating into a Dutch position. thumbs up. So it's basically like a reaction to the response to the thumbs up. So rather than just a full up thumbs up kind of thing. Big thumbs up. The vlog is over somewhere down the line. I usually cut these things on the road anyway. I said, Sweet Jane. Sweet Jane. Yes, Sweet Jane. Yeah, Sweet Jane. So somebody was a doctor. Dun, 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 dun. And Jane, she was a clerk. Maybe. And she liked to do things, yeah. With a jerk. Dun, 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 dun. She talked about Kevin Morby. Dun, 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 dun. She thought he was a dork. Dun, 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 dun. He hung out in the panhandle of Texas and wrote some songs. Dun, dun, dun. That sounded like gospel. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Jane. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, sweet Jane. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, sweet Jane. Dun, 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 dun. Here they come. These guys are great. They're from Oklahoma. Those guys, when I was in Dallas, these guys shot at either at the air or around me. And I called the police, but I was in this neighborhood, Uber Eats. I called some guy a colorful name. They came up behind me. They fucking shot either at my car or around the car. I was in Dallas. I think it was over the car or something, I don't remember. I called the police. Like, well, anyway, we can't do anything. It's an emergency situation. So someone's firing their gun out of the car. It's not that big of a deal anymore in Dallas. So Jane, she knew a clerk. Dun, 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 dun. Kevin Morby, by ignoring me, dun, 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 dun. It comes off as a jerk. Dun, 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 dun. Does Kevin Morby listen to Durable? Dun. Or does he go up to the mic and go, what's Drupal? I don't know. Dun, 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 dun. But all I gotta do one day, dun, 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 dun. All I gotta do is show. Dun, 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 dun. Well, Lou Reed, dun, 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 dun. He told me not to write about the man with no name. Dun, 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 dun. David Mark Chapman shot John Lennon. Dun, 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 dun. And now he feels no pain. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, sweet Jane, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Ah, sweet Jane, yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, sweet Jane, yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, sweet Jane. Dun, 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 dun. That's me. Dun, 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 dun. That's me. Dun, 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 dun. Well, Morby, he went to New York. Dun, 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 dun. He made himself a lot of fame. Dun, 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 dun. Now he's counting the money. Dun, 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 dun. He cuts it by the drain. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, one day, Morby. Dun, 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 dun. He'll remember my name. Dun, 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 dun. All the way from the panhandle of Texas. Dun, 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 dun. To Seattle's Drain. Dun, 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 dun. He plays a guitar. Dun, 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 dun. Like a music teacher.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
R2 interrupts. Dun, 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 dun. And I go with my deranged. Dun, 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 dun. Words and rants and sayings. Dun, 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 dun. I better hurry up so the food don't get cold. Dun, 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 dun. One day you'll hear this. Dun, 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 dun. Whether you're young or you're old. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, sweet Jane, yeah. Sweet Jane, yeah. Well, sweet Jane, yeah. Sweet Jane. Dun, dun, dun. If I had my guitar, dun, 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 I'd play you a little tune. Dun, 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 dun. I wouldn't play it like the other singer. Dun, 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 dun. That'd be a little rude. Dun, dun, dun. I'd find my own rhythm. Dun, 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 dun. My own way to say the song. Dun, 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 dun. I would be right. Dun, 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 dun. Rather than be wrong. Dun, 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 dun. Well, some call me racist. Some call me deranged. Dun, 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 dun. I'm from Texas too. Dun, 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 dun. I'm old but not too new. Dun, 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 dun. In my head, I'm still young. Dun, 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 dun. And that makes me real sane. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not going to turn on Midway, but hard road. Dun, 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 dun. Or you can call it hardwood if you're exact and you're like Adam the Woo and he's flipping out about the names of things. Dun, 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 dun. There goes Circle K. Dun, 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 dun. They've got it all day. Dun, dun. You can buy Mountain Dew and think of Daniel Johnston. Those two birds on a wire. Dun, 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 dun. And Jim Morrison and his fire. Dun, 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 dun. Well, we got to turn on Full of Wiser Road. Dun, dun, dun. And lick me some toad. Sweet Jane.